All right, thanks everybody for joining us today for another edition of Meet the Atlassian Vendor as we talk with our partners all over the world about their amazing software and how we use it to extend the Atlassian platform. And today I've got Maria and Yanko from Zigiwave, and they're going to tell us about the most flexible integration tool. Because integration and B2B integration, I think, is going to be huge over the next few years. So great to have you with us. Thanks, Maria.
Thank you, Michael. Nice being here. So let me just start with a brief introduction of the company, of the product, and where we stand from that point. So 3 years ago, we saw the need for integrations, easy integrations, seamless integrations, integrations between systems that are done in a few minutes, in a few clicks. We saw that no one on the market is offering that, so we built ZigiOps. ZigiOps is the most flexible integration platform, and we say that with a reason. It's all integrations are done without any code. They're done from the UI, which is very seamless to use. It's very straightforward, easy to navigate through. Yanko will show you afterwards on the technical demo as well. We are focused in the IT operations domain, where we connect systems from the IT service management, monitoring, DevOps, and CRM systems. And also starting to build integrations for the ERP as well. So Atlassian's products like Jira Service Management, Jira, and GitHub are currently within our portfolio. We're constantly expanding it, and we connect them through APIs. The other cool thing about ZigiOps is that it offers the so-called deep integrations, which means we can connect entities of any level, also custom fields, attachments, basically anything that the systems we connect support as fields or entities we can connect. The integrations are bidirectional and are done in real time through listening or polling. We have these two options within the product. And also we have a library of predefined integration templates, which are fully customizable and ready to be launched within a few clicks. But you all see this, of course, in Yanko's technical demo. In terms of company, we have 35 people in the company. It's constantly growing. We're constantly growing our platform, our integrations. We do have some big plans for this year, and we're working towards them in our pipeline. We have quite a few Fortune 500 customers. The most notable ones from the Australian region, I would say, are Property Exchange Australia, Ant Bank, DXC Australia, Victrac, and others. So mostly enterprises and mid-sized companies are leveraging ZigiOps. We do have 2 OEM deals with the platform, which are with 2 of the biggest vendors out there in the ITOM sphere. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I wanted to be quite brief. It's the seamlessness and the no-code part that make ZigiOps truly stand out among all other integration tools, and of course the in-depthness of the integrations we offer. The typical users of ZigiOps, I would say, are system administrators, senior system administrator, IT operations people, also integration engineers, of course. So it's, as I said, it's pretty easy even for non-deeply technical people to work with the platform. We do have an on-premise version of the platform. We also have an iPaaS version, which was released just this year. And we do have more than 70 active customers currently. So yeah, I think this is what I wanted to share very briefly, and Yanko can pick up from here.
Maria, thank you so much. Okay, let me just share my screen briefly. There we go. I would just like to ask if you currently can see my screen right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Just in case, thank you so much. So, like my colleague mentioned, my name is Yanko, and I'm part of the technical pre-sales team here in Zigiwave. Today, I'll be showing you a demo of a simple Nagios to Jira integration, and more specifically, creating tasks in Jira after ZigiOps reports an error with the whole statuses within Nagios. However, the first thing that I would like to present you is a brief ZigiOps UI overview before the main integration between the two systems. So the first thing that we see after we sign in the ZigiOps portal is the ZigiOps dashboard. Here will be presented right away with additional information about the licenses and the integrations of our account. For example, the current number of active integrations, the current number of connected systems, also the self-held status of both the platform and the systems which we have connected with. And of course, we're being presented with additional statistics and matrix data that we could check for a certain time frame of our choice. So the first thing to do here actually is visit the connected systems section in order for us to connect the systems which we would like to use. So after we click on add a new system here, we'll be provided right away with all the systems that are currently available for integration with ZigiOps. There we go. So after we select one of our preferred systems, let's say Jira, we'll be provided right away with a template with all the requirements that the system will need in order for it to connect with ZigiOps. So after we have added all the mandatory the information here and we have saved our details, there we go. We can test our connection, and once the connection is successful, ZigiOps will be collecting some metadata from both systems, which will include all the available projects, tables, and details that the users can see. They'll be collected and will be used for the configuration later on. So afterwards, oh, and the same goes for Nagios. Let me just show it to you. There we go. So afterwards, the next step for us is to visit the configurator section in the UI for us to choose the integration template which would meet our integration needs. So after we click on add a new integration here, there we go. We can choose one of our predefined templates, which are based on the most common integration scenarios between the two selected systems or the system which we have searched here in the search bar, of course. Also have in mind that you would be able to also import and create your own custom integration templates. This way you will be able to define your integration requirements additionally from the ground up in order for them to meet more of your integration and business needs as well. So after we have selected our preferred template, we can go ahead and visit the main configuration page, which is this one here. Just to mention that as a predefined template, it will include predefined actions, conditions, and field mappings, so that can be used right away without any additional configuration. Of course, we would be able to also make changes for us to meet more of our integration needs more precisely if needed. So in overall, the main configuration page will include our systems that we're going to use today, the data type that we're going to synchronize between those systems, and also the correlation logic that ZigiOps is going to use. So if we start here one by one, here we'll see system 1 as the source system and system 2 as the destination system. There we go. So after we click on save right here, the connection between the two systems will be established. So ZigiOps will be looking for new data from Nagios and will add data within Jira. After that data is being transferred, we'll keep both records synchronized with updates to our Jira task. So afterwards, the next thing to review here in the main configuration page is the integrated entity section. Here we can define what is the type of data that we would like to synchronize with the systems that we have chosen today. So in our current case, I chose to work with the host statuses within our Nagios system and report them as tasks within my Jira project. So, of course, have in mind that in this section here, you'll be provided with a list with all the available entities in both systems. So you wouldn't need to remember them all. You would just simply need to save the systems here and everything will be added here automatically as options. So the last thing that I would just like to review here in the main configuration page is the correlation logic that ZigiOps is going to use. We would be able to choose how the two systems will be correlating with each other by adding our correlation references. So for this correlation logic, we store the name and the host ID from Nagios in the dedicated custom correlation ID field within our Jira project. So in overall, this is how the two systems will be synchronized after the action has been triggered. Okay. So once our main configuration is ready, we could proceed with the action levels, which are these ones here. I'll just click on the first one. There we go. This is the create action, the main one. Just to mention before that for each integration, we can have as many actions and operations as we need, depending on our use case. In this case, we will need two. The first one will be handling the initial data transfer when we create, when ZigiOps collects data from Nagios and transfers it as a task within Jira. So the other action below will serve the purpose of updating our task afterwards. I'll definitely show it to you in our main integration between the two systems today. Yeah. So here on this page, I'll just like to start first with the trigger type of our action. In this case, the trigger type of our action will be polling. So this way, ZigiOps will be sending query requests to the source system in a time frame of our choice. Our platform also has the option to listen for any incoming requests. We usually work with webhooks, depending on the systems which we have connected, of course, and their preferences. So in overall, the recommended time here is 1 minute. However, you will be able to configure it in a timestamp of your choice. Okay, so the next thing to review here is the trigger condition section below. This is in overall the defining logic of the query that ZigiOps is going to use and run as well. So in this section, we're being presented with all the triggered conditions that the system would need in order for it to extract the newly the new host statuses, I would say, events from Nagios and transfer them to Jira as tasks. So in this case, our default trigger condition looks for records that have been created after our latest record collection here. And also for the current status state not to be 0. And after 5 status host health checks in Nagios for the ZigiOps system to be triggered to collect the new host status from Nagios. Of course, if you would like, you could also add additional conditions to filter the system for the use case more precisely by simply clicking on one of the options here, either and or. I'll just go with and. There we go. And you can use all the available properties in both systems to include in your condition, depending on which system, of course, is the source and which system is the destination for this specific action. Okay, so let me just close this one. And lastly, here in the ZigiOps UI, I'll just like to show the mapping capabilities of ZigiOps and the mapping section in overall. There we go. So the mapping section defines how the data will be delivered to the destination system. This happens in form of a mapping table with access to the fields to both systems. On the left side, we have our destination fields, and on the right side, we have our value definitions, which could be objects from the destination system, hard-coded strings, or a combination of both, I would say. Yes. So we also have a mapping for our update action. There we go. So I think that this is pretty much for the UI on the high ground. Now I'd just like to show the main integration for the purpose of our meeting that we have prepared. So on the left side, we have our Nagios system, and on the right side, we have our Jira system. What I'll do right now is just reconfigure one of our hosts here in order for me to make it faulty. There we go. Just add 2 there.
And I'm going to ask a silly question at this point in time.
Yeah, sure.
You can have as many of these integrations as you'd like. So it's totally scalable.
Absolutely, yeah. You would be able to, yes, absolutely, yes.
And a whole slew of business rules. So you have multiple connections between systems doing different things.
Yes, sir. Yeah. It's pretty flexible and dynamic on that occasion, definitely. Yeah. Okay, so now since we have changed our configuration of our host, I'll just go with immediate health check, of course, right away. And after the 5 pings of the health check, we'll definitely get our Jira task there. However, let me just also show you meanwhile something else here, a really interesting part, I would say. And definitely, Michael, you can have as many integrations as you like in one ZigiOps instance, of course. So you will be able to manage them all from here.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I was just thinking, because you mentioned the ITSM use case, but yeah, we've had discussions regarding other use cases where that B2B integration is going to really provide value. You know, for example, product development. So an end user of a customer going directly back to the manufacturer into their Jira where they're producing the code to improve product, and also for research and development, multiple sort of parties contributing to some research and such. I think the sky's the limit. I think, yeah, B2B integration is going to be huge over the next 5 years. I mentioned it at the start. I can imagine being integrated with almost every vendor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the no-code part is also quite crucial, at least from what we're seeing as well.
Absolutely, yeah. It's pretty easy to get the hang of it, especially in the UI. We definitely provide you with additional assistance when you set up your first integration, and afterwards, like you mentioned, the sky is definitely the limit. Yeah. I just wanted to show you here the troubleshooting section, since we can see what has been extracted from our source system here, and of course what has been loaded within our destination system. And also, if by any chance we receive any error messages down the road or something similar that could cause us some trouble, we can definitely troubleshoot it from here, since we'll be provided right away with a detailed explanation on what's been going on. Definitely. So since now we can see that everything is running smoothly, we can just go ahead and reload our Jira queue. And there is our brand new Jira task. So let me just open it. In overall, this is how it looks like on a high ground. We have mapped some basic fields here in order for us to set up the correlation, also to mark some additional information here in the comment section. What is left for us to do right now is simply fix our host here from the Nagios side by simply reconfigure it once again. There we go. Let me update it. Okay, and we will once again force an immediate health check just in case. There we go. I think that the system also runs an automatic health check, but I would just like to make sure that we run it from our side as well. I would just like to open the troubleshooting section once more in order for me to show you the update tasks actions. There we go. So now we can practically see that after we have reconfigured our host in Nagios and everything is running smoothly there, our Jira task has been, our Jira task status has changed from to do to done. So if we go back to our Jira task here and just simply reload our page, we can see that the status is being changed. So in overall, this was the demo that we have prepared for the purpose of our meeting today. I would just like to show you another thing briefly. We have our site where you could easily book a demo in I think that's about 3 clicks. You would just simply need to add your email address here, go to book a demo. There we go. And afterwards, you would be able to choose the time slot. of when you would be available for one of our beloved members of our team to schedule a meeting on our site, and you will be able to also add some additional information of your company and also choose the systems that you're interested in. So,
can you tell us about the pricing?
The pricing, I think that one of my colleagues would be able to provide you with additional information on that one. I'll just stop sharing my screen.
In general, the pricing depends on the use case and the number of workflows that people want to do. We have pricing for one workflow, the bidirectional synchronization that just Janko showed, and multiple entities to other multiple entities, which is the multiple workflows integration. The pricing is fixed per year, and it starts for the most simple use cases at 6K.
Okay, sure. All right. So, and obviously you can book a demo and any of Australian companies or clients or audience who've got questions, feel free to contact Design Industries as well. But I think, exploring the path of B2B integration, if you haven't already started, you should get on the path because it's got huge potential in, clarifying and improving the communication between companies and teams. So it's not just your team that's getting high quality communications, it's the people you're working with. And we're seeing more and more of it, and I think it's got a great future. So look, I think it was great to see your product, and it looks really easy to use.
It's pleasure meeting you as well. And if anyone has any questions, they can turn either to you or directly to us. We'll be happy to respond, do live demos or whatever is necessary that they might be interested in.
All right, well, thanks very much, Maria and Janko. That was really informative, really enjoyed that. It was succinct and to the point, and I think you clearly demonstrated the power of the product there. So for those who aren't started on the journey of B2B integration, please get started. So thanks everyone for joining us.
Thank you so much. Cheers. Bye-bye.